that up, and you're like, no.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Keep. Thank you for joining us for today's adventure. It should be a lot of fun. We hope that coming along with us is a bright spot in your day or a distraction from the crazy that is this world around us. Guys, it is so good to be back playing. I am super excited for this. As you can see, we have a Jordan back with us today. Yay!
Yay. I feel very inspired, Jordan, by your presence.
Jordan inspired people. That's funny.
The burn is real.
Hey, Jordan, I do appreciate you giving me your cloak of protection, though. That was real nice.
Thank you for that. I know that didn't happen. I know it was attempted, and the DM rolled against it.
Yeah, I got you back, Jordan. I gotcha.
This DM is a spoil sport.
Up in charisma, protecting his stuff.
God.
We know who the favorite child is.
Anyway,
Let's be
sorry.
honest, Jordan's everyone's favorite.
We derailed you, Lauren.
He's my favorite.
We have. I love it. Y'all are good. Do we have any announcements to go over today, or shall we go ahead and jump right into it?
There's a video that's been up for a couple weeks. If you haven't seen it, it's Lauren talking about being a DM. You should check it
This
out.
is true. You should check it out. It was a lot of fun to make.
Okay.
It's on our YouTube page, youtube.com/thekeeprpg. So definitely go check that out.
Yep. It's good.
It's good. If I do say so myself.
Pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and jump into session for today.
Sender full send.
Woo! All right, when last we left our heroes, the 11th Hour had detoured away from their journey to collect the journals on Denegon, Celiax's homeworld, to make their way to a sorceress's tower to recover Lirin, beloved of the Sanctum, in order to begin the process of restoring the Sanctum back to its full potential. You succeeded in your efforts, managing to ascend the tower, overcome obstacles, find Lirin, and successfully escape. You return her to the Sanctum, and Bell, keeper of Illyria, warned that much of the situation is still unknown and asked you to keep an ear out for information about the 5 generals leading your opposition. You have surmised that the Ebonrath, the sorceress whose tower you just got out of, and the Alabaster Ruin, who you suspect might be Reuven, based on the apparent grudge that they have against Celiax, are 2 of these generals, leading you to believe the other 3 may also be chromatic in nature. You spent some time in Cedar Grove, shopping and resting and commissioning some items to pick up the next evening. And we will go ahead and jump in the next morning. You have just taken a long rest. You have about 12 more hours at this point, 12 to 16 hours before you need to go pick up the bow that Halberd commissioned. What are y'all doing during this day?
Good.
I think
For Carter, I'm going to grab Val and make a few vials of holy water.
Okay.
Via the ceremony spell. So I can cast it as a ritual, and essentially 2 hours later I can get 2 vials of holy water for 50 gold.
All right, go ahead and mark off the gold, and you have 2 vials of holy water.
And then Val,
How many did we need to make?
I need 2 from you as well. So me and you are just going to sit down for 2 hours and make some holy water.
Cool.
So I will mark off the gold, so that's 100 gold. And yes, that's going to take 2 hours. And then I wanted to go pick up some holy oil from the temple in town. So
yeah, not too hard to find. It is set a little ways back from the main road. you talk to the head priest there, who is a very elderly silver dragonborn, and you do manage to purchase 2 vials of holy oil. That's 100 gold each.
Okay. While I was in there, have I been to this temple? I don't remember.
You have not.
Okay. I'll do my thing while I'm in there then. And just
Okay.
check around and, make sure he's on the up and up and whatnot.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh, I'm so good at those. Natural 20.
For a total of.
First roll of the day.
22, I believe.
Good deal, good deal.
Ayo.
22.
22.
Way to start us
So
off right.
Kazine, who is the high priest here, the oldest priest at this particular temple, is giving you the tour, guiding you around, and while there seems to be a number of rooms that are in disuse, from what you have seen of the areas that are used and the sort of patronage of the people who are coming in and out, they seem to be well served by the 3 priests who are on staff, and what you have managed to overhear does seem to be fairly accurate.
Okay.
You do notice that there is a sort of an under priest who is an assistant to Kazine, who doesn't give you the same confidence that Kazine does. He is, he's younger, he's approaching middle-aged, this human man who seems to be assisting Kazine. Nothing he does in particular is wrong, but the way that he speaks and addresses people is a little bit more arrogant.
Oh, I can't really fault him for that, can I? That would be a little hypocritical of me. But I will tell Kazine to keep an eye on him and tell him that arrogance can be the downfall of great individuals, and that it should be tempered.
Oh, certainly, I will pass that on and keep that in mind as we continue forward. Arbiter, I do thank you for your visit. Please, if I can be of any assistance in these days, do let me know.
Oh, just continue doing the good work. And it is my belief that the servants of our enemy may be on the move, so continue to keep an eye out for that, and as always, report any misdeeds to the Temple and Dragon Throne.
Certainly. Bahamut guide your steps, young Arbiter.
And thank you so much for the holy oil. It will be very useful.
I am pleased to be of assistance.
Okay. And the heavy crossbow that I gave to Doran,
Yes.
I was getting fixed.
Yep.
When was that?
Go ahead and you pick that up. That didn't take too terribly long.
Okay.
It should be ready for you. Your tour at the temple took about 6 hours.
Okay.
So the day's over half done at this point. You can go ahead and go pick up the heavy crossbow.
I will make sure to give that to Doran. So Doran, add that to your inventory if you didn't already.
I didn't realize that was a thing I was getting. Yeah.
You are getting a heavy crossbow.
Sweet. More
Well,
weapons.
So you now have a D10 of damage for range.
What hell yeah. While they're out, can I be working on this little interesting thing?
Sure, go for it. Make me a dexterity check.
What's the range on a heavy?
24?
24. Yeah, you do feel the pieces sliding around and clicking together, and there's a brief moment as everything is shifting and sliding and finding its place, and then you twist it, and there's a deeper, more resounding click that seems to reverberate through your hands, and it starts to grow warm, and there's a very soft luminescence to it now.
Lord, I forgot. Rissa's with us, right? She's at the Dreamer's Pool.
Rissa's at the Dreamer's Pool. She is still sleeping. She was when you left this morning.
Okay. Well, she's still asleep. I want to find Casator.
Okay.
I may need of
I
him
will
as
go
well.
up to Casator and say, Casator, I have a question for you. You can still identify things, yes?
I can.
Perfect. I have, and I will pull out the vial of tower potion from that weird cauldron that I stuck my hand in, or that I drank or something.
Yep.
I took a vial of it, and I will hand that to him and say, could you tell me what this is? See if he can identify the tower potion.
Pretty sure it was specific to that room. But
I don't know.
we'll drink, or not, I won't drink it. That's not what I meant to say. I will identify it.
Don't drink it. If I remember correctly, I drank it, and
And everyone got mad.
no, almost bad things.
Because you didn't drink the potion that I made. You drank the one that had been sitting there for who knows how long.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I will.
So you go ahead and identify.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is an oil of unlocking, and it can be applied to a door or a lock of some kind to unlock it.
Okay, so it was not specific to the room.
Cool.
This particular potion that you're identifying seems to function outside of that boundary.
Do I get an idea of if it's the amount here is single use?
You get the idea it's single use.
I will put it back in the bag. Oil of unlocking.
I'm guessing it does what the name says.
Probably. Neat.
Castro.
These 4
Unlocks
magic
the
books. You
insides.
want to give those to
The what?
Rissa. 4 magic books from the tower. You want to give those to Rissa as well, right?
Actually, I want to give those to Casator in case he can learn anything out of them.
Well, Casator, guess what? Here, you have 4 books from the tower as well that Val took.
Ooh.
So you now have 4 magic.
We took a lot of things.
It technically is how to magic. Is what I have written down.
Magic for dummies.
So write that down,
Essentially,
Casator.
they're.
Those are yours.
Let me find them in my notes here.
Cleaning up my
Yeah,
bag.
Primers that I would have studied like as a kid, learning basics.
Essentially, yeah, they're sort of elementary and then intermediate level volumes 1 and 2, and then volumes 1 and 2 to like for an arcane caster who is studying and learning and taking the first steps into magic. This would be the sort of material that they would study and have at hand to do things like identify common magical symbols, or how certain spells are strung together. There's a list of common material components. There's a list of like basic movements and somatic components, things that you would have for that you would need to refresh continually when you're in the process of learning.
Is there any chance that by studying specifically the intermediate volumes that there's information outside of the bardic realm, more for like, the sorcerer, wizard, whatever, that in studying these, I could learn something like first level of something else? Or is it even more basic, just like the foundational to all, what I'm saying, arcane magic?
You're not finding any particular spells contained within the books. The intermediate ones in particular go over more nuanced things like fine-tuning a sorcerer's ability to quicken a spell, or a wizard's ability to transmute various items. It goes into more theoretical knowledge. Seems to have a section based on sort of each of the sort of schools of magic.
Right.
Is it something that perhaps
Wicked
Doran
spell.
could make use of?
Do what?
With his new gained intelligence and his
Like
learning of
brain.
knowledge and enchantments and things. Perhaps Doran could learn something useful from these.
If he wanted to spend the time studying them, most people who have good reading comprehension and the ability to sort of follow along with the text would be able to start taking steps to learn some of it.
I have no need for it, but I
Mine
just
look
remember
But I
Doran
did
is
have
pretty
some
smart.
other things I do want to do today.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
I'll give them to you, and you can do with them what you will.
Here.
Books.
Cool.
So I will.
Who's next? Or is there anything else that Celiax wanted to do, or
I don't think so. I'm just going through my bag and make sure I delivered everything to everybody.
okay?
I've got a list, but I can wait if other people need to do quick things.
I mean, I wanted to see if I could make those boots magic now. And I think I
Ah,
needed
nice.
to do that. I don't remember what we said last week.
You're gonna need Kazator's assistance if you want to use the rubric to actually enchant the boots. With the two of y'all working together, let me pull up
Yeah.
Y'all fell. Come back.
Oh, I'm sitting. That's silly.
Yeah. Camera.
Oh, that's what happened? I can't
Yeah, my
see
camera fell.
Your camera's being crazy. Stop it, camera.
Sorry, guys.
The camera's drunk.
Your camera
Apparently,
had a bad dexterity roll.
that's something. I
Or
stepped
bad
on the cord and
constitution.
everything knocked over. Because I fidget. All right, how's that? Is that good? Am I gonna knock anything over again?
That remains to be seen.
Right. All right, sorry guys. So, enchanting. Finding the cost for that real quick, because you've got the rubric, you've got the items.
Yeah. Also, is Kazator gonna be busy?
Is Kazator gonna be busy?
Kazator only has a couple quick things, so I will definitely have time to help you.
Okay.
Yay!
Good deal.
Air hug because Rona.
And the fact that you're out of state. But
So that.
Yeah, there is that too. All right, pulling up the stats here. Okay.
No. So I can have
Good
boots
deal.
of-
Good deal. Okay. So you'll be able to start it today. With the two of y'all working together, it is going to take about 3 days, and it is going to cost in materials about, we'll say 75 gold pieces to get everything done.
I mean, I've already got boots and I got monies. So if he doesn't mind, if we can get started, that'd be great.
Good deal.
And then if there's more time, I did want to try to crank out at least 2 more of those alchemy rune stones. So that way 3 of us could have.
Right. For today, at least, you're going to either be spending the time working with Kazator on all of that, or on the boots, or you can take some time to do the rune stones, and that's up to you.
How much travel time do we have to get to the cave?
Well, y'all had been talking to Rissa about having her teleport y'all there.
Yeah.
And so that would be pretty instantaneous once y'all are prepared to go.
Okay, so it's either.
Walkie walk or healy heal.
Well, because I'm slow. All right, we need Healy things, so I guess I'll spend the time to make more stones then.
Okay.
'Cause I'm not that slow, he says, and then in the future gets murdered because he was too slow.
We will come
All
back
right.
to this moment, and we will remember.
Yes, and
Are we not starting the boots today then?
Yeah, because there's not going to be enough time between now and hey to finish making the boots.
Sure. Okay.
So I would rather not waste the time starting. So I will make more materia. I mean rune stones. I need to quit saying
Okay.
that because that's not a thing.
So you're making more of the healing runestones?
Yeah. So it was like 2 hours per stone.
2 hours
for
each.
This,
Yep.
okay. So I made one. There's 5 of us. So I want to try and make one for each of us. If that's possible. If we have
So that
the
will
time.
be hours.
I didn't hear you cut out.
You've got the long day of intense. You've got the time. It will be a long day of intense crafting, and the last one I am going to have you make a concentration check to see how well you maintain your concentration through the sort of exhaustion of working that long.
Okay. So, oh God. Notes, paper, how does? I remember that I know how to do this. And I knock things over. Okay.
Okay. So you've got your runesmith tools. Roll
Yes.
a d20. Add your intelligence
Yes, and the proficiency.
and your proficiency.
Okay. So, well, that's a 1, so that fails.
Not necessarily.
Oh, it
A
do
natural
like
1 is not an automatic fail on skill checks. So add everything together and then tell me what the total value is.
Okay.
Because the DC for this is just a 10. Because it's one of the common runestones.
Oh my God, my brain is going to poopy. Yeah, no, that would have been 9.
9. So in this particular case, yeah, not quite able to do it. You need a little bit more experience with it. So the first one you make, one of the lines is crooked and doesn't connect in the right way to channel the energies. So that's 2 hours down. That is a 10 GP crystal. Go ahead and try again.
That's much better. So 24 total.
Yep, that's a success. 2 hours and you turn out a successful healing stone.
And that's the same roll, another 24.
Awesome, another success. You're starting to get the hang of it on this one.
Yeah. And 27.
Yep.
Yeah.
Third one's a success.
Okay. So now I have 4 stones total.
Go ahead and as you're working at this point, just turning these out.
Didn't hear a word you just said. You cut out.
Because of the chaos one you made last night.
What?
Sorry, because of the chaos one you made last night, right?
You cut out, Lauren, and you came right back in when you said chaos.
Hello? Yes? Are we
Hi.
good?
Restart. Re-say everything you were saying.
Please and thank you.
Okay. So
confused.
you have 4 runestones because of the chaos runestone you made last night and the 3 successful ones you just made.
No. That other one is I have 4 Healy stones. I didn't make a chaos runestone. I learned the runestone.
You learned the runestone. That's right. So you have the flawed one, and then you have the 3 that you just made successfully. Had you made Okay. So you'd made
Yeah.
one previously.
I made
deal.
one last night, and now I've made 3 more, and I have a poopy one.
Awesome.
Okay.
So we're good.
All right. Do I have enough time to make the 5th one for
You
somebody?
have time. You have time. I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and have you roll a Constitution saving throw, a concentration check, to
Okay.
maintain your concentration as you're doing this one.
Oh, and that's a Constitution saving?
Yep.
I'm very constituted. That is a 14.
That is a success. So go ahead and roll for this one.
I think it's a 15 actually, but I'm gonna check that later. So I roll, then 21.
Yep. You are good. You make the 5th one successfully.
Huzzah!
Dilly.
All right.
I did
Good
it.
deal.
Everyone can have an alchemy stone.
That's what it's called.
So what are we
The
doing
Alchemy
then?
Stone. You attach it to a piece of non-magical armor. It makes the armor magical, and while you're wearing that armor, you gain 2 additional hit points anytime you drink a health potion.
So can we attach it, or does he have to attach it?
I believe you can go ahead and let me look. That's a good question.
You just Iron Man it, just
Yeah.
Putting it in a pouch in my leather armor.
Ooh, did you do something to your finger, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you? Maybe
Broke
now's
it.
not. I'm sorry to hear that.
Still attached. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. We are glad it is.
Fair enough.
Oh, you, Jordan.
And I don't remember these stones. Were they meant to be attuned thingies or not?
Yes.
They were.
So I'm going to say that anybody can attach a runestone to their own armor. However, it's going to take an hour to do so. And over the course of that hour, you will be attuning to that piece of armor as though it were magical.
Cool.
So the option is.
I have slots.
I have free attunement. I will take that.
I don't.
Yay! I made a thing that everyone can use. It's so good. It just feels good on
So,
the inside.
What
I did a
is
thing.
it exactly? What does it do?
It gives you
While you're wearing the armor that it is attuned to, you gain an additional 2 hit points when you drink a healing potion.
Nice.
not much, but every little bit helps. Yeah. See,
We've probably all been down to 1 or 2 hit points at some point.
Mhm. More than others.
Some of us only have 2 death saves.
yeah.
That's what you get for selling your dying breath to a hag.
Cheers, lad.
Because now I have a loud crossbow.
Boom. Stealthy stealth.
Hey, no, not every situation calls for stealth.
So
But what it does, he is not our person.
Cedar,
Lord,
I have a stealthy. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm actually quite stealthy until I shoot.
Cedar, can you take him off from range without people knowing? Oh, no.
No.
I'm
Oh,
suggesting
okay.
I use
That's why you
I gems out of my bag of 200 gold of gems. So
So those each of the 5 you worked on today would have been worth 5 gold, so mark 50 gold off. Or excuse me, 10 gold. So mark 50 gold off.
10 for each. Okay, so
10
okay.
per 5,
Yeah.
50 gold.
yeah.
Look at Doran being all awesome.
I'm now attuned to 2 things. Woo! And one of them
Okay.
makes me better at not dying.
That's a good thing.
That's kind of important, especially in your history.
Gold crystal, right?
So what?
The failed one was a crystal worth 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. you pick up your crossbow or your bow?
Not yet. It's not evening yet.
Okay.
I gotta
Time's a
go.
little wibbly wobbly. I mean, we just ran through about 10 hours there with Doran, so
I mean, I just know that that's the last thing on the day is swinging by and picking up the bow. So I figured I don't mind waiting and listening.
okay. Anything else you want to accomplish over the day?
I worked on watching my bobber for a good
Mhm.
while. And Doran's super busy, so I'll wait on that. No, I gotta wait for my stuff to get done and then I'll be ready to roll.
All right. Kizator, anything else you wanted to do?
Yes. Question. In researching the Underlord and Beholders, not knowing if he's a Beholder technically yet, but in researching that, did we learn about the anti-magic cone, or we just talked about that as D&D players? I can't remember if we actually know that.
Y'all have not found anything about that. That is D&D players' knowledge, not character knowledge.
Okay, cool. So I guess first thing I want to do is there, we're in Longview, right?
You're in Cedar Grove.
Cedar Grove. Longview is on the way from Cedar Grove to
Longview's almost directly north. You can go north to Longview, or you could go sort of cut some of that time off and go straight sort of northeast on a trail road towards White Brand.
We're teleporting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could teleport.
So
That's all that matters.
how big of a is there a magic shop in Cedar Grove?
There is a magic shop, yes. That is Abella's, where y'all cleaned out their stash of diamonds. It is where Halberd commissioned his bow.
Oh, that's right.
There's
Okay. Just because we've been talking about this for a while, I'd like to just stop by there and see if they happen to have anything to increase charisma as far as game go, to make me better with my spells.
Mhm.
Essentially.
They don't have anything in
Good.
particular. Nothing designed to make you more charismatic or gregarious or outgoing or easier to get along with. None of that. Was there anything else in particular you were looking for? Because they do have a fairly wide range of material components available for sale. And then they have a few sort of wondrous items also.
I did update spells, and I kind of forgot to look at components for that. So let me see. I'll need a copper piece for that. That's good.
Wrote the budget right there.
Yep.
No.
Dadgummit.
We only have 1,600 of them in the bag.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I need.
Yes, thank you.
Wow, that's yeah. See, I didn't look at this one. Okay. I need 4 ivory strips worth 50 gold each,
Mm-hmm.
and 2. Oh, good. Those don't get consumed, so I can keep those. And I need 250 gold worth of incense.
Yep. Easily enough. Abella is not actually manning the store. Well, he has an assistant. It looks like a younger cousin or something, who asks you to wait for about an hour. They'll run around to the different jewelry shops to collect the ivory for you. The incense you manage to get, it cleans out about half their stash of high quality incense, but you can get that no problem.
Should've gone with a loophole.
450. Oh, which reminds me, so I marked down. I forgot to text you.
Yeah, you took your 50 or 500. I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little
only
dragon
get
quarter
50.
going in there.
I already took it off.
Without it, but I would have been broke.
Yeah, no, I already took it off. So.
Okay, cool. So what did I say? 200. So 450 gold. So that's 200 of ivory and 250. So 450 total.
Yep.
He made 50 gold.
Hey, you do what you gotta do. it's the you said it's like a younger cousin that's running the shop.
Mm-hmm. And he says if you'll wait an hour, he will be pleased to go and collect the ivory from various jewelers for you.
And whose shop is this normally?
This is Abella's.
Abella's.
Abella's Magic Emporium.
I'll say, oh, I was so hoping to get to see and speak with Abella. She always gives me such good deals. Is there any kind of spending so much here, and I know my friends were in yesterday, any kind of deal that we could make?
Well, my uncle manages to make those deals with the customers, but he is currently busy performing an enchantment with some of my other cousins. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to charge the upfront price in his absence, but thank you respectfully very much, sir.
I won't cast a spell on him. I'll just pay him.
Okay.
I was like, do I go first level or fifth level or just walk away?
Or you just
Okay.
spend money.
Do I?
Just spend the money.
So in
Yeah.
2 days, he's made close to 3,000 gold from us.
Yeah. What
No,
the heck?
more than that. He's made almost 5,000 gold.
But we're better for it.
4,500, give or take.
Yeah, almost 5. Yeah.
So why
Almost-
stop the
almost
credit
5.
train, man? Let all that cash come in. Get that
Okay.
money.
And then the only other thing I wanted to do is use everything I just purchased, and I'm going to cast Legend Lore and name the Underlord.
All right. You go ahead and you prepare your space to cast the spell. You light a little brazier that you carry with you, and you burn the incense, and it is very fragrant. And as you use the ivory and set your ritual up, and the scent of the incense filling your nose, you focus hard on the Underlord. The name, the title, and almost as though someone is speaking to you, clearly in your mind, you hear, Shadesfiel, the Underlord, is an aberration of great power. Though he typifies the paranoid xenophobia of his kind, over his long life he has developed a fascination with the strange, unique, and entertaining. He has invested much of his power in warping reality around his lair in order to protect his collection, which he guards as jealously as a dragon guards its hoard. If you enter his
Man.
domain, be prepared to satisfy his curiosity one way or another.
All right, could you spell that very first word that you said?
Shadesfiel?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one.
Shadexfiel.
S-H-A-D-E.
Okay. Is there a library here?
A small one.
I'm gonna go see if I can find anything on Shadexfiel.
Okay. Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Make
That's
an
why I wanted her to
investigation check.
repeat that.
Sounds like one.
Say it 3 times and he appears.
Do I have a violin?
All right. Investigation. Kazutor.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
Possibly a whole lot.
17.
17.
We don't know any of this.
Y'all don't know any of this.
Yeah.
You don't find anything in particular attached to that name. The library itself is sort of attached to a small temple of Ayun, and it is not necessarily open to the public. You manage to talk your way in. You are charismatic enough and leave the lady at the door blushing with the compliments you give her. But you go ahead and you start looking through the books, looking through the names, looking through anything you can think of that might be connected to this, and you don't find anything with that particular name.
Okay. I'll just ask whoever seems to be in charge of the library in case there's any verbal lore that, if you've ever heard the name Shadexfiel.
No, I'm sorry. I can't say it sounds familiar. Is it a family name? Is it what genre is it?
It's an aberration, as a matter of fact. Something that seems to have been plaguing the people of Whitebrand for some time. Something of a personal fascination of mine.
Well, if it's an aberration of some kind, we don't have very many books containing that sort of arcane knowledge. Whitebrand itself has a fairly large library attached to a temple there, and then there's a fairly large repository of knowledge in Dragonthrone. You may be able to look there. I'm sorry we couldn't assist you more here.
That's quite all right. I do enjoy stopping by Her Lady's Temple and just visiting each of her libraries. So I thank you for your time and for your hospitality, and I will bid you good day.
She nods, and you head on out.
Good day.
I think that's it for me for now.
All right. Val?
All right. So, first things first, after waking up, gonna check on Rissa, make sure she's sleeping soundly, no fever, nothing from her being exhausted and all that fun stuff.
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Oh, those are things.
That cleric.
I'm not that kind of cleric. That's cock. That's better. Not really. 18.
18? Yeah, not really better.
Well, I rolled a natural 18 the first time, but it was cocked, and I was just like, ah.
Okay. Rissa is still sleeping fairly soundly. She stirs a little bit as she hears the door open, as Gwen has led you to her room. She is running a very slight fever, but not terribly concerning, very low grade, and you get the sense that it's just her body's way of coping with the exhaustion and trying to heal from it.
You've got COVID, 14-day quarantine minimum. We aren't going anywhere.
I'm going to just get like a bucket of water, cold washcloth, just kind of spend an hour or so taking care of her.
Okay.
Then I'll help Soliex with his holy water thing. And then I'm actually going to go find Casator. And Casator, do you happen to have those the scientific journals that we took from the tower? The ones from the lab that Halberd gave you.
Shoved in your chest.
Sure.
He lost them.
I'd like to take a look through those while we have some time, if you don't mind.
Be my guest. I will give them to him, assuming I have them.
Do you have them?
You dropped them in the big ear's nest.
I dropped
All right.
that scroll.
Right. So yeah, I'll spend about how much time would it take for me to read through the journals?
It'd take a couple hours at least. They're fairly scientific in knowledge, not necessarily easy to understand. You'd be able to get the general gist of what's happening. You want to go ahead and spend that time?
Yeah.
All right. So the notes in the journal section that you have actually begin in the middle of an experimental series, like what you had read about earlier, just glancing through about experiments, introducing various elements at chemicals at various points during the trials. Later notes speak of a shift in focus, sort of a frustration in the slow development of the trial subjects, and a change in course occurs. Though the original trial series is continued, and the author speaks of the difficulties and frustrations inherent in mammalian gestation. A course of potions are described, seeming to strengthen and build resistance, though it's not really clear to what. You flip through the pages, and the experiment describes a female trial subject, marking developmental stages succeeding in appropriate course, meeting acceptable parameters, though lamenting a sort of lack of ferocity, of providing activities and guidance to foster a more ruthless demeanor. There's a page where the handwriting changes, the letters spiking larger and darker with excitement, that record the first showing of arcane potential and of training sessions added to the roster to harness and direct this ability. And from the timestamps, the dates on these various trials, it seems like this trial subject has lasted for 3.5 years at this point. You continue reading, and the dates at the top show the trial subject to be a bit over 5 years old when she's given a name, now referred to in these notes as Dresmina. This coincides with the
sorry,
description.
You cut out. What was her name?
Dresmina.
Dresmina. This coincides with a description of a transformation, of advanced development, and a sort of almost joyful rant about inherited characteristics and the strength of the bloodline proving true. There's a remark in there that catches your eye about mother's blood maintaining strength through generations, and then a question about having to confirm with Riven and Kalarin to see if it proves true with brothers or just sisters.
All right. So what I just heard was, we're all about to die. You said Reuben, and what was the other name?
Kalarin.
Could you spell that one?
K-A-L-A-A-R-Y-N.
Close enough.
And the
So
plot
yeah, this girl could have a brother. Fudge.
Everything's awesome.
Oh, this is bad.
Well, it's the Brotherhood.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Brothers.
Oh,
Are there any other notes that bring up Kalarin?
No, nothing in particular. This is the only time that you have found that mentions any particular names other than Dresmina in the notes themselves. Go ahead and make a perception check for me real quick. Or investigation, either one, you pick.
Let's see. Investigation's a +3, perception's a +9. I think we'll go with that one.
Yeah, I probably would too. So
27.
total is 27. Okay. You do find you'd sort of skip past it because you had looked at these a little bit earlier already. But the author itself, you gather, refers to herself as Dressinia.
That's just great. Oh man. Oh, my head hurts. Oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a fun dinner conversation, guys.
oh, we're
Yeah.
so gonna die.
We're gonna have lots to talk about at dinner.
We're gonna have.
You guys are getting some good information.
What did I miss?
Yeah, I read those science journals, and we got some out of it. All right. So after that, the last thing that I have is sorry. Quick thing before the last thing is I'm going to open up the satchel that has the one remaining journal that we kept with us.
Mhm.
And I'm going to pull it out and touch the necklace to it and see if anything changes, if I get a buzz, just making sure that retuning that connection.
Okay. You get a brief sensation, like a little ping on your radar, to the northeast area. That's the only really sensation that you get.
All right. Now opening that journal, does it look like it's gotten worse in the amount of stuff disappearing from it, or does it look about the same?
It looks about the same.
Okay. Cool. Then I will put it back in the satchel and close it up, because the last thing I need is sending up a magical signal flare to all the evil things out there.
You already have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I need to keep sending the signal.
I mean, you had to do it.
Can't stop
Get
the
it.
signal, Mal.
Oh, God. I am both ashamed and proud of you all at the same time.
You're welcome.
But and then the last thing I'm going to do is go check out the wondrous items at Abella's.
Okay. So y'all had seen what was in there previously with the belt of returning, the rope of climbing, the wind fan. There's a couple small things in there. There's a potion of fish command.
Potion of Aquaman? Is that what you'd call it?
Fish
Basically.
command, but essentially the same.
The potion of Namor the Submariner?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Val wasn't with them when they went shopping, so this is all new to him.
Okay. You do also find boots of striding and
Bro,
springing.
Sorry.
Did you say boots of sprinting?
Boots of striding and springing.
Okay. I have no idea what those do.
The price tag on those is 5,000 gold pieces. The sort of nephew of Abella comes over and starts explaining that when you wear these boots, your walking speed becomes 30 feet unless it's higher, and it's not reduced. Like your speed isn't reduced if your walking speed is naturally higher. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
You are not encumbered or wearing heavy armor. In addition, you can jump up to 3 times the normal distance, though you can't jump farther than your remaining movement would allow on your turn.
Fair enough.
Could use some boots.
All right.
So you sprint 25 feet and do your running jump. And you fall short.
Fuck.
Yay!
Ah!
I picture it off a mountain specifically. Like all the angle, the trajectory, and then just down.
It's full on cartoon.
Full on Looney Tunes.
Thank you, Coyote.
I mean, you can fall farther than your movement allows on your turn.
Do I fall straight or at an angle?
Only if you look down.
Okay, yeah. I'll won't buy anything, but took some notes for future reference. And then I'm gonna head back to our room, the tavern where we're all staying, and I'll wait for everybody to come back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Halberd.
get my stuff. And then while I'm there, he had made an offer for unbreakable arrows for, instead of 50 gold, I think 25. I'm going to see if it sell me 2 of those at the same price.
Make a persuasion check.
It's not shabby. Oh, wrong way. Nope, that's a 13. I read 5 instead, but 13.
Okay. So Abella comes out and is pretty exhausted from the heavy
Oh.
enchantment work.
So did I see
presents-
him looking exhausted? Should
I mean,
have asked sooner.
your passive perception is high enough that yeah, this is something that you would do. He goes over and hands over the fire shot longbow. And 2 of his also looks like young family members seem to have assisted him in this in the desire to get it done so quickly for you. And he thanks you for the privilege of working on such an interesting item and for the use of the materials, and that the investment that he'd already put into it hasn't been wasted. And he'll go ahead and sell you 2 unbreakable arrows.
Cool. I'll go ahead and buy those, and then I'll thank him so much. The quality looks quite excellent, and I'm sure it's a craftsman's dream. I know I'm excited just to be able to utilize it and see how it performs, and I will, if I come this way again, let you know. But I thank you very much for your time, and it looks marvelous.
Well, I am pleased to be of service. Do come back and give a report on it and let me know if anything can be improved, or if it does not quite meet the needs of the customer. We would be glad to work with you in anything you need it to do.
Well, thank you so much, but I think this will do just fine. And then I'm gonna head on over and pick up my 6 encapsulated arrows and get ready to head on back.
Awesome. So y'all go ahead and you head on back, meet up for dinner. Is there anything else anybody wants to accomplish over the day?
I mean, yes, but after dinner. We have some discussions to
Okay.
have.
Let's go ahead and jump to that then. Go for it. Dinner is brought out. It is fragrant and well presented and delicious as y'all are partaking. All sorts of dinner tonight looks to be mostly beef, some tenderly prepared. There are a couple dishes that are presented cold and jerked and flavored in various ways. There is a steaming haunch that is brought out with an excellently sharpened knife for y'all to slice at the table, and a number of side dishes consistent with what you'd had there before.
I will slice up the beef.
And now I want steaks.
All right.
Dang it, Lord.
Well, I know we talked about tomorrow having Rissa teleport us to the entrance of the holy lair, to the Underlord. Is that still the plan? Or have... Because, I mean, right now, she will take us in the morning, if I'm correct on time. We won't be losing any time. Our 3 days will be up, and we'll be right on our previously established schedule. But walking there, we would be behind. Yes? Am I correct in that?
I believe so.
I think so.
You'd save about 12 hours, essentially. So rather than getting there the evening of the 3rd day, you'd be getting there the morning of the 3rd day.
Yeah.
So what do we know in our various researches of the Underlord so far?
He's underground.
He's scary and has
It's
a
okay.
magical place that keeps changing.
Found a bit more information today. His name is Shadexfiel, and
That name.
everything else was very similar to what we had learned. He liked strange, unique, and entertaining things, so prepared to provide one of those things in one way or another.
DM,
Yes.
So we couldn't help but notice that Shadexiel looks awful close to a certain plane of existence.
Sounds an awful lot like another one.
Sounds an awful lot like a certain plane of existence. Would that ring any bells for our planes jumper?
I'm gonna leave that up to Val. He's free to make as many assumptions as he wants or not. He's familiar enough with various names of the planes and the travels thereof that
How familiar would
he would
be
have
with
heard
the Shadowfell?
stories. He would have heard of it at least. He'd probably be about as familiar with it as he would be with, we'll say, the Hells or the Abyss.
Fair enough.
So how familiar is that? I'm kind of worried.
Basically, what I'm wondering is, what I'm trying to figure out is, would Val be able to, or would I believe that that's his home plane of existence?
That is up to you. Would Val think that? Is that a connection he would make?
I don't know.
Well, he's
I
your
don't know
character. Decide.
I'm trying to figure out basically would he know what type of creatures come, because like obviously from the Hells and the Abyss you've got devils and demons and all that type of stuff.
Either way, he's an aberration.
Yeah, would you know that aberrations come from the Shadowfell? Or do aberrations come from the Shadowfell?
Oh boy.
That is an excellent question. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, that was something I actually took. Nice. 24.
24.
Not sure.
Okay. So Val knows that aberrations are not, they don't fit into the natural world, right? Some people believe that aberrations originate from the far realm, although not
We're losing you.
necessarily all aberrations of Durs, for example, that were created by the goddess Lolth, who were originally drow, who had their bodies transformed and are now aberrations, or they're now classed as aberrations. Most sources agree that aberrations in general
You there?
originate from the far realm to the prime material plane.
Try that one again. Your
You okay?
Yeah, your video feed keeps freezing. Or your audio feed, sorry.
Y'all are breaking up. Am I breaking up too?
Yeah.
Yay, tech issues. Woohoo! Okay.
Try again.
So,
looks like it's caught up.
All right. So aberrations are, most sources agree that they originate from the far realm and that they are utterly alien to the prime material plane.
Fair enough.
Utter must be a cow.
So I can't help but notice that we now have a name. An aberration wouldn't be part of the natural order of this world. That makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with ending its existence if so necessary.
Yes. I can agree with that.
It seems to be a creature that spend its time creating more a higher level of difficulty for finding and destroying it. Is there any way that we would have of luring it out of its lair?
I know we've talked about this before, but can we, by removing it from its lair, that would be nice, but where would we put it where we would be at an advantageous position for us And also, we still need to retrieve things from its lair.
Well, I feel like once it was destroyed, we would be able to make our way more easily into its lair, or at least more safely. Once there, it'd be rather a simple task of the right spells in order for us to locate everything we needed.
I'm a big fan of, this man has treasures. I like treasures. I'm perfectly happy if we can somehow take care of him, so free access to treasures. But
do we have? Is there?
He's a powerful being. Do we really think that there's?
Well, I feel like the farther away from its lair that we can draw it, the better.
Casator.
Yes.
Sedexiel or whatever his name is. That's his. Is that his name? His true name? His actual name?
That is what it appears to be.
Do you have any more the summoning scroll that you used for Korra? Do you have any more of that? Could we use that?
Halbert has one use of it left. However, if we summon it somewhere else and it takes us time to get to its lair, what is keeping the people in its service and the other denizens of the lair from taking the treasure and possibly the book before we can arrive?
Well, what if here's my thoughts? If we can have Rissa teleport us close to the lair, to where instead of being 3 days out as we are right now, we could be 2 hours away from the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Teleport us, take care of it there, and then we are just a quick hike away from the lair itself, where we can go in and do it.
What if we get within a quick hike of the lair, spend the night in the hut, and then the next day, when she's fresh to teleport again, we all go in we leave one member out, even Rissa or one person with Rissa. They could summon it away to another place and then teleport to us, and we are in the lair without having to fight him and without him being there.
The only problem with leaving it alive is that it has taken members of the clans of, what was the name of the town?
White Brand?
White Brand, thank you. Brain was blanked. Into forced servitude. And if we were to allow it to live, allow it time to get back there, there's nothing to stop it from doing that again. One thing I can assure you, though, that if we were to take it down, that there would be mass confusion among its servants and its slaves. One thing, anytime a master dies, there's great confusion.
Sure.
So
I think
also,
they
a couple out.
run. But here's one thing we need to decide before we go in, that we're all on the same page, because just yesterday when you and Halbert were discussing things, he said to you, are you planning on going in to fight a beholder? Because I'm not. I'm planning on going in and looking at our objectives and seeing where this thing takes us. So we need to know before we go in, are we planning on trying to get out of there without a fight, or are we planning on going in to kill the Underlord, whatever he may be?
Well, knowing that it's an aberration, that it is taking and controlling the lives of those around it, possibly against their will, I have no qualms with bringing the creature down. It is not natural. But I'm also willing to entertain the idea of, especially if the group feels that is necessary, to try and go in without a fight.
Lauren, for Halbert,
Yes.
with his background and what he did, as a guard of the borders, was he facing a lot of aberrations?
No.
No. Okay. So he's not had contact, and he doesn't really know one way or the other.
Nope.
Good deal.
Personally, for me, I would like to take this thing down, given that it is a threat to people on my world. I mean, but I cannot speak for everyone else. I can only speak for myself, and I would like to eliminate him. I would like to fight him, and I would like to remove him as a threat. My concern, Casator, is this is a powerful being. We don't know the capabilities he has. We don't know if he has a way to return himself instantaneously to his lair. I mean, we can try to summon him out and fight him, but I'm afraid using some type of subterfuge might end poorly for us. Then we might be surprised by him in his lair. That would be very bad. Whereas we can at least try to gain the advantage.
You could always
And I
try
am
to
in no
take
way
him to our lair.
That is an interesting thought. I am certainly in no way opposed to fighting him. I just want us to be unified before we go in our decision. And I agree with you that if he were to reappear within his lair while we were there, it would be much more advantageous for us to attempt summoning him away. You don't want to fight a king in his castle. You would rather draw him out. So I am all for that plan.
Regardless of what happens, he's going to probably figure out that something happened, and figure out that it was us. Find a way to find us if we leave him alive.
Potential. And here's the thing: if he does have a way, as you suggested, that if we were to try to summon him away while being in his cave, loot it, find our book, and leave, with the possibility of him returning, he could do the same thing. If we summon him away to try and kill him, he may be able to teleport back to his lair, in which case we'll have to go fight him there anyways. But that leaves us in a better position of the potential that we could fight him outside of his home turf.
There's also, I like the idea of fighting him on our terms rather than his. I also have, in case at all, I don't know if you do as well, the ability to banish him for a short time from this plane of existence. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility.
No,
What
if
we
he's
summon
from,
him?
if he's from another area, I mean, like
If
you
he's-
said, aberrations are not from this world. So if you banish him, if that is the cleric spell I believe you're talking about, if you banish him, then if you can maintain your concentration on that, he will stay banished.
For a minute.
No, if he does not belong on this world, he
Go back and read it.
does not return.
That is very intriguing. We could also summon him at I think one of you was alluding to our castle,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
where we release the black dragon from the orb and they can fight.
I would rather not release
And
a
we
black
just
dragon
take the
on our keep.
leftovers.
We have a keep. Let's not destroy it, please.
They won't destroy it. But it's an island where it's protected by miles around by swamps, so no one else will get hurt. They can go at it, and we'll just take the leftovers.
And you know, to be fair,
But they're ours.
Brilliant.
we did send O'Dear and the other druids to go clean it out. Who knows if they're even there or if they finished?
We're controlling the time frame. We'll go there, send them back to Longview, then we can release everything.
Well,
Every
okay,
time-
Kister, here's the issue
Send
with
her a
that.
message to make sure they've cleared out.
The plan here, though, was to summon him out someplace close enough so we could quickly gain access to his lair before this everything's gone. If we go across the other side of the continent,
But if we're doing that, if we do it somewhere else, then Rissa will not have teleported us that day, so she can teleport us to, as soon as we kill him, she can teleport us.
do you plan on hiking all the way back to the keep?
No, we teleport there and spend the night.
I see
I can
where
tell
you're
you're
going with this.
considering it,
I
Yes.
also don't want to destroy our own keep. We haven't even got a chance to go back to it. I don't want to ruin it.
I don't think it would be destroyed. They're not attacking the keep. They'd be attacking each other. Fire doesn't hurt stone.
I don't know what? First off,
Attack each other.
Fire dragon.
first off, black dragons do
Acid.
acid, and that
Doesn't
will
it, Stone?
acid melt stone.
We just went to a dragon's lair where there was a pool of acid sitting in a pool of a bowl of stone.
No, acid. To me, it makes sense that acid would like put holes in stone.
Acid does not.
The hole. It's just eating
Acid-
its way lower and lower.
Things like glass and stone hold acid.
How does stone? I understand glass because I've seen it. But how does stone? That doesn't make sense.
It's science. It's not supposed to make sense.
Intelligence check that.
Acid burns organic matter.
Casey, Paul, I'm smarter than you. Trust me.
Doran, go ahead. You can make an intelligence check if you want.
Acid burns organic matter. Acid is low pH.
Stone is organic. Trust me.
No, it is not. It's not
I am far smarter
My
than you.
paper.
organic.
What do I do with my paper? Wow, did I really lose
Now,
my
black dragons may have magic acid that burns stone. That I don't know, but normal acid doesn't burn
Acid
stone.
doesn't burn; it melts. Surely, I thought you were smart. Come on.
15.
15. Doran,
Hello.
you've seen several times. You've worked with various chemicals. You're pretty confident that stone might be damaged by acid over time, and exceptionally strong acid might eat through it, but it's not going to be instantaneous, and stone for at least short periods of time will contain even strong acids.
So, if you're done for a moment, Casator has a point. Sulliax has a point. The acid would eat through it, but it would take a wee bit of time for it to be significant. So there is some merit to lock in the beasties in the castle.
We're not releasing
That-
a black dragon in our keep.
That's
said, I don't necessarily want our house that we haven't even gotten to use yet to be destroyed.
See, Doran gets it.
Well,
also
here's
not-
another question.
But it's
So,
Really,
what's
the
old
acid would
boy's
just
name
be
inside the
outside of
old?
the stone.
bad idea. It's just
Well, I mean, he handled a dragon pretty well. What happens if we send him another gift?
Okay. So on that note, so just you two know dragons way better than I do. Ancient dragons tend to be top of the pecking order as far as
Ancients
food
are
chains
old. Yep,
go.
mhm,
Yeah.
yep.
We accidentally released an ancient dragon inside the orb.
I really hope those happen.
And-
All right.
They're totally dead.
And right. And Avanar, while angry, is still alive and has it handled.
In a weird chicken, lizard, scorpion head body.
I really wish I could have seen that. That sounds
Yeah.
so interesting.
So that him, or is that a means to communicate? I thought it was a
Well, no.
means to communicate.
It sounded to me
Maybe
like
that
a
was his
familiar
true
summons.
identity.
I don't know.
Regardless, that being said, he was able to handle a ancient black dragon. We don't know what means he has at his disposal.
Mhm.
For all we know, he could have another army of creatures.
That's
I
what
really
said.
don't think that
So what you're
pissing
saying,
him off
He
is
would
the
probably
right idea.
survive sending the Underlord to him,
Probably.
is what I'm
But
hearing you say.
Here's the deal. Also,
I'm
Thank
more
you.
worried
I
about-
agree with
I'm
you
more
agreeing with
worried-
me. Thank you.
I
I appreciate
do believe,
it.
I
It's
agree
good.
that I do believe that he would survive. I don't agree. I don't believe that we would survive him being angry.
I'd just tell him it's your fault, and then I'd walk away.
okay. Well,
I don't think he'll spare you anyway.
here's the important thing, guys.
Probably not.
Gentlemen, we need to actually figure something out. What do we do?
So here's an idea. We teleport because if I remember correctly, we're using the runes that Halberd drew as our homing beacon, essentially, for Rissa's teleport spell.
Yes. To the entrance.
Right. So we're going to end up at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that we take an hour or so and move away from the entrance.
Yes.
Find there were several locations that Halberd and I saw that would probably be good locations for an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
We summon the creature. We attempt to deal with it. If it is able to teleport back or warp reality in some way that it is able to escape us, then we've lost an hour plus the time it took us to figure that out.
Yes.
We go back, we make our way through. We've at least identified ourselves as interesting and powerful enough to summon him at least once. He would have no idea that we don't have the ability to do that again. So we make our way in, present ourselves as interesting creatures, and we continue on with the original plan of taking him in his lair.
Well, let me play as Modius's advocate here and point out the fact if we do this, we have also lost any element of surprise. Well, yes, I understand what you're saying of we saw look, we're so powerful. We summoned you. Ha ha ha. Also, element of surprise gone. He may be like waiting to murder us if he manages to escape us.
From the sound of the paranoia of this creature, the moment we step foot in his cave, he knows we're there, and he's ready to murder us anyway if we do not prove interesting.
I think
All right, well,
So I would say that the elements of surprise is the only element of surprise that we lose is, are we hostile or not? But if we return ourselves to the caves and present ourselves of, hey, we are just trying to prove how interesting we are, then we have a chance of regaining that surprise. But if he doesn't have the ability to get away, then we have trapped him outside of his lair, and that's assuming the summoning works. Let's just be honest. That's assuming the summoning works. So, summoning works. We take him, then we just have an hour trek to the cave, deal with whatever's left over there, loot the place, and get out.
I agree with all this.
Why don't, if we want to, why don't we just, if we're going to summon him and just see how it works, summon him here and then teleport there immediately when we're done and go through.
We're here.
Yes, we are here.
No, where?
Where?
As
Out of
in, like,
town.
location.
Who's on first?
Lauren, you said Val's been here before, right?
Yeah, Val has traveled through here before. He hasn't spent a whole lot of time exploring the area, but he's vaguely familiar with the area.
When he in his travels of leaving the town, going to various places, is there a like either a wooded area, preferably, or a that would have a clearing, or is there a maybe a valley that he would know about?
So Cedar Grove is a port town, and it's a port town right at the mouth of a fairly large lowlands area, sort of a grasslands. The closest actual forest is going to be probably 5 days journey northwest, heading up towards the Palisades, or another 4 days or so southwest to get towards the land between the lakes.
Well, I
I
mean,
am not fighting Cedar Grove.
down there
It's right in the middle.
by the river.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Or we go and we teleport into the mountains and use it there. I mean, I'm fine with either one. I just think.
Hey guys. To the east of White Brand is the Silver Point Mountains.
Okay.
What if, and to the north of White Brand is the Scorchlands. What if we took Dummy Creature that direction?
We've never been there. We have no familiarity with there.
True, but it's east of Boulder Peak. So I mean, it'd be another add on another day's travel, basically, or 2 or 3.
I mean, either. I would say it would be just as beneficial just to do our deed where we're at outside there, or to go into his lair, one of the two. But
I would suggest, my suggestion would be that we do as Val suggested and move about an hour away from his lair. Find a good spot that would be beneficial for an ambush, and then do it then.
I could also create the tiny hut there, so you could have some semblance of protection.
But you cannot leave that, though, yes?
Correct. I cannot step outside of it, but that doesn't mean that I cannot be useful from inside. And if everyone else is protected, then that's quite useful.
Can magic effects go through the tiny hut?
No. So you could partially or fully emerge from the tiny hut, attack, do whatever you need to do, and step back within its boundaries.
I feel like that would be taking you out of the fight, though.
But if everyone else is protected, why do you need me?
Fair. Possibility.
But I can also shoot the crossbow through.
But if you leave, it dispels, yes?
I don't have to leave to shoot the crossbow.
You can, so physical object, so you can't do magical, but you could shoot it.
I don't know if I can shoot. I mean, because I can leave. So if an object I want to leave, maybe I'll practice that today.
That may be good.
But that is an option.
But okay, so I think what we need to decide is Rissa has volunteered to send us somewhere. Where are we going? Do we want to go to the lair and hike away? Is that
I
the
think that's our
plan?
best bet.
If
think
we go straight to the lair, he'll know that we've been there.
Not if we
Because I
go
can't-
in.
Well,
No.
are you sure though?
Yeah, we put the. Yeah, Jonathan or Halbert and I never went in the lair.
Aye.
So the runes that. How far away were we when you marked the runes? Because we weren't like right outside the lair. Because I went away from you while you were marking those,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I found the entrance.
Feel close.
Yeah, we weren't super far away.
But I can't imagine he doesn't have a wee bit of attention span beyond the mouth of the cave, you know?
If anything else, we're just more interesting because we went to the entrance, we showed up at the entrance, and then left. That's intriguing. Or his warning signs have worked, and he saw a group of people show up and see all his whatever and go, I don't want to go in there, and turn and leave. He doesn't know necessarily that we're walking away to that something forth.
I suppose you're right.
I think this is our best plan.
Okay, so in the morning we teleport to the lair, hike a little bit, and set a trap.
I think this is a good idea.
Guess Doran, Albert.
I think we might as well give it a shot. What could we lose?
Our lives.
Fair enough.
I mean, what else is new though?
Albert,
Don't worry, I have spells for that.
while we're talking about strategy, Albert, I have a thought.
Mhm.
When do we set the trap? What if for this you have a Night Bane out of your charm, you put me in your charm, and then you drop me on top of the beholder?
I am not opposed to this idea. I've always
Because
wanted
I
to
will
lock
be-
you up somewhere.
I will be nice and close to him, and I have an axe, and he has eye stalks. I can chop those off.
We're still making the assumption he's a beholder. We do know he's an aberration, though, now, so that...
Right. But
Yeah, no, there were some markings on the cave that let
yeah,
me know he
that's
was
the
a
whole
beholder.
reason we started this, because we saw this weird circle with things.
Do we know that that's the Underlord, though?
No, we don't. We don't know that it's on the...
No, there was something we
connecting
knew
two things.
that gave
Now
us
that we know the
it's in my
Underlord
There
aberration,
we go.
Yeah.
Well, if this is what we think it is,
we're pretty
It
sure.
has the potential to not be good.
right, do you think perhaps you could do that? Have Night Bane out and then put me in? So I'm thinking, big heavy person, make me out right on top of it. Doran now has this nice heavy crossbow that he can shoot once the Q3000 is out of ammo. I'll get right on top and smash. And then the rest of your range.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, I think this will be
Would
just
be
fine.
shooting at you, lad.
I mean,
Are you fun? Are you?
Well,
I'm down for it.
that being said, now that we have a name, I actually have a way to look at this creature and see what it is. I can do this now. Because level
You can do
9,
this now.
Level 9.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't take it.
I mean, we can always try it if you got time because we're not leaving till the morning. Anyway.
Yes. If we're going to do it, now is the time to do it.
let's do it. Dude, can you do it now?
I can.
Let's do it.
And I will pull out the mirrored scimitar and set up my
Awesome.
little ritual.
Hold on. Might I suggest we don't do this at the dinner table in front of everybody? Can we finish?
Do it now?
Can we finish
I kind of forgot we were at the
the
dinner table.
supper first, and then we'll get together?
Let's go
and
back
do
to our
this.
rooms. Let's go back to our rooms.
Let's-
All right.
Let's see if they've got even a meeting room or something like that we could use.
Our rooms would probably be
A
better.
meeting room that might be set up with scrying spells.
Do what?
A meeting room that they might have set up with scrying spells.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go back to our rooms.
Our rooms
know,
that might
actually-
be scrying
you
spells.
know,
Actually, why don't we head to the Dreamer's Pool?
There's probably a private room there that we can all
Yes.
use.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was saying. It's like Dreamer's Pool use a room
Yeah.
Yeah.
in one of
Alright.
our locations.
We're going to the Dreamer's Pool.
The Dreamer's School.
Pause on scrying spell.
Hold on.
Let's all
Fucking
talk.
pay for supper. The rest of us, we're going to be going to the Dreamer's Pool.
I don't know.
Can
what
I, Lauren,
Yes.
can I attempt to get Howard's coin purse?
Do you know where it is?
I don't know.
You've been shopping with him enough.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
having
feel like
general
you've been
idea.
shopping with them enough that you would have an idea of where it's at.
Every single time he buys something, he pulls money from a different pocket.
Siliex, make a sleight of hand check.
Go great. Oh, that's okay. 14.
Halberd, what's your passive perception?
21. Question. So while he's trying to pick my pocket, can I take his bag?
My bag is actually it's a shoulder strap bag.
Can I pull money out of his little money belt and hand it to him? You're like, here, let me.
Halberd,
for you.
Halberd, make a sleight of hand check.
15.
Siliex, what's your passive perception?
Ain't 12. Here's a question though, Lauren.
Alright.
I have multiple coin purses.
And they're loaded, right?
Yes, but not all of them are loaded with gold.
That's okay.
So which coin purse do you reach into?
Do you have them actually labeled?
No, of course not.
Roll a D100. One again.
I have a platinum, gold, copper, silver, all over. So like,
Call it. One is copper, so like working in descending order.
okay, yeah. So one's copper, 4 is platinum.
Yep.
That's what you hand me. What is it? It's a 4. Okay. So you have the platinum purse.
He's been shopping with you enough at this point, Siliex. He knows where you keep the good stuff.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna pull out the money.
Most impressive.
This one's on me, I guess.
Oh well, thank you. Perfect.
But by the way, I'll open my fingers up and have the coins on the rest of the bag. You might want to keep that pouch locked a little bit tighter.
I'll find this. Telltale game. Just remember this.
I'm just gonna tap him on the back.
Oh,
Say that was fun and draconic, and
I didn't paying for food.
All I heard was Halberd Hakalugi.
All right, so y'all head to the Dreamer's Pool. Val, you start preparing your scrying, and we're going to go ahead and pause here to take a break, and we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes for the rest of these shenanigans.
Okay.
So cool.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining us for this shenanigans, I think is the only word for it. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it.
Harsh.
Y'all have had your discussion. You are heading towards the Dreamer's Pool. Val, you're about to do a spell, right?
I'm gonna do the scry.
All right. So you are scrying on
The Shadexpiel.
Shadesfiel, the Underlord. Okay. So wisdom saving throw, is that right?
That would be correct.
Help you, Pat.
All right, what's the DC on that?
17.
Okay. That's an 11.
Okay.
All
so
right.
It succeeds. All right. So this is the evening of the second day, right? So
Mhm.
you focus in. You take your sword. You look at the top 6 inches of the scimitar. They've been polished mirror bright. You know that this was a gift to you from Tyrek and Laren as you were preparing to step into your full duties as a runner of the Sanctum. And you haven't used it in this way before. You know, it was designed for this, in preparation for your abilities to grow and to be prepared for it. But this is new to you. So you focus on this spell, this new ability that your goddess has given you. And you pray. And you focus your mind on the Underlord. For a brief moment, there is a sense of crushing darkness, a sense of pressure, of cold, of moisture, almost as though you've stepped into a dark, enclosed, moist space, and a shiver runs down your spine. But then it passes. You blink, your eyes open, and you get a view of a
Blue dragon.
no, of a writhing mass, almost a shifting, moving, almost snake-like effect of tentacles shifting over and around a form. You see a round sphere-like shape hovering in the air, scales covering it, protruding slightly like armor, with a dull purplish hue to it. You see these stalks, these tentacle things almost, focusing, shifting, moving around, and you see eyes on the end of them. You get a better glimpse of this spherical shape, and you see the body itself is one massive eye positioned above a grinning, toothy mouth. And you hear it muttering to itself. You hear it speaking, almost coaxing. Coming soon, yes, I know. No, not soon, but someday they will come. They will bring me gifts. I love my gifts. Oh, so interesting. Oh, I want it. I want the shiny. I want the precious. I want the, oh, what is this? No, that cannot go here. Move, shift. And you see its tentacles, eye stalks, starting to move through the air as though directing a great orchestra. You see its gaze is distant, as though it's focused on something not physically in front of it. You see, you hear this strange voice. No, not that way. Oh, that's a poor choice. This is going to be fun. Oh, but the blood. Oh, yes, my pets will feed well tonight. This is exciting. And it goes on like that for several minutes. You get to the end of the duration of this spell, and 9 or 10 minutes or so have passed by this point, and you get the sense that the creature, Shadesfiel, the Underlord, is directing almost a great sort of like an orchestra. The director, the conductor, is moving and pantomiming and calling for different parts to play their particular effect. And then the time fades. You blink back, and you are back with yourself and your friends in the room at the Dreamer's Pool.
Yeah, we need to get this thing out of there.
What?
We do not need to go in there. All right. I'll relay kind of as what I'm seeing and hearing. I'll kind of relay it as it's happening. Keep up a kind of running commentary. And then I'll put the sword away. Yeah, I think this would be the best idea, to not make our way through its lair, if we can avoid it. Seems someone has tried that and met with an unfortunate end.
Well, then I suppose the best bet here is then to go in the morning, find a nice spot, and hopefully we'll get really lucky and trap it, lure it away. Now, are we certain, beholders? You said these creatures, these aberrations, they don't belong on this plane, yes?
That seems to be the consensus, yes.
Do you believe your banishment spell could actually keep it permanently away?
If it is not native to here, then yes.
That could save us a lot of issues.
I agree. I think that needs to be my
Lead.
off on that.
To your earlier point, pulling it away and looting it without killing it does not accomplish one of our goals if it can get back. And if it got here from another plane once, the question is, can it get back again?
That is a fair point.
That is a fair point. Not knowing how it got here, I mean, speaking from experience, planar travel is not an easy thing. It's not something that most can do at will without specialized tools and powers. My understanding is that if it made it here, it probably did not do so under its own power, that maybe slipped through a rift or something. It would be hard-pressed to find that again. And there's no guarantee that it would bring it back here.
Perhaps maybe we should attempt to kill it. And if things start going poorly, that's when you really that as sort of a last ditch.
I think that
Maybe not open with it, but close.
possibly
if
close with
necessary.
it if necessary.
Yes.
Be our safety net.
What do you think about that, Doran?
Oy.
You're the smartest one here now.
But if we're about to go do this, then I made these for you lads, and I pass out the stones.
Ooh.
Yeah, shiny, eh?
I do like these.
But these are alchemy stones that'll, if you take a potion, it'll make it a wee bit more effective. So, but you'll have to attune to it. So, if you want to use it, you might need to get on it.
Well, I, for one, have open attunement slots, so I will take this for sure.
I definitely have an unused slot that I can use.
Go ahead and take it anyway, whether you want it or not, because I've got enough for everyone. So,
Enough
As far as I'm concerned, this thing is hurting people. We're probably going to end up fighting it. So if we have to fight it, might as well try to kill it. But I really don't want to get killed today.
All right. So one more night's rest, and then we
Give it a shot.
have Rissa teleport us. Hopefully she's recovered some.
Once more with feeling, lads.
Once more with feeling.
Now, Lauren, the poison wood crossbow,
Mhm.
it takes an overnight to attune to, right?
It takes an hour, or you can do it overnight. If you focus and sit with it for an hour, that'll speed it up. Or you can just have it overnight and attune to it then.
Because I had it in my possession last night, so I'm guessing I'm attuned to it now.
Did you want to attune to it?
Yes.
Then yeah, we'll say you did overnight.
And then I've got my bow to attune to during my 4-hour time period while I work on my little orb, and then take an hour to do that after I finish my rest. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
At dawn, we teleport.
Halbard, he has all 4 of the stink bombs, right?
Yes, I do.
I thought so. Just check.
I'm gonna pull an extra 6 crossbow bolts from
Yep.
Sullyx.
6 bolts to you. Do you want
I think
an extra 10?
I've got 10 total, and then I've got all my arrows for my bow. Just in case something really weird needs to be done.
So I'm going to give you 10, so you have 14 total.
No, I don't want that many. I'd rather use my bow.
Okay. Cazador, do you need crossbow bolts?
I'm stocked.
Okay. Any other preparations?
Doran, you have bolts, right?
you wanna
You're loaded up with crossbow bolts, right?
20. So I think that would do me for a while.
Okay,
I'll
All right,
take
let's
most.
do this.
do it.
All right. So you take your long rest overnight. In the morning, Rissa awakens with you at dawn. She still looks a little tired, not quite completely back to herself, but she volunteers to go ahead and take you to where you want to go. Who is going to describe that to her?
That'd be Albert.
That will be me. Sorry, I'm looking for a text you sent me a while back about something, but I'll find that later. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell her it's. Oh, where is that? It's in the close to Boulder Peak, and I'm going to describe the area. I'm going to describe the fact that we found like that circle eye, and then real close to it in a kind of hidden area of a rock, I went ahead and I sketched out my ruin. I'm going to describe the location. I'm going to describe the region and where it is, and the ledge and the platform close to it that I was on, which was big enough for us to teleport to.
Maybe draw on a piece of paper with the runes.
Yes, I'm going to show her what the ruins look like and give her that type of direction, I reckon.
All right, good deal. Halberd, go ahead and roll me a D100. As Rissa prepares the spell to take you to this place, let's see how this goes.
Critical 99.
Like 100 would be the 100 and the 10?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
One of these. It's a 0 and 8. That is 8.
8.
Okay. That is
Because I'm-
a...
Guessing normally that counts as a 10, but not now.
No, that is a mishap. So,
What happens, Lauren?
Like, why? That's a great roll. Like, that's a stupid, really good damage
That
roll.
would be a divine
That's a
intervention
divine
right
intervention
there.
roll.
that is a divine intervention.
Did a 10% mishap, Lauren?
No, with a description of the area, someplace that she has never actually seen. The mishap, we'll go over it later.
Okay.
But the mishap, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so the teleportation, you feel all of it take you. You feel your bodies start to be absorbed almost by arcane energy. There's a like a whooshing sound almost, and you feel as you're approaching your destination, there is a sort of a bump in the road. You feel your molecules almost start to disperse and then come back together very quickly. Everybody takes
Oh, good.
12 points of damage, and I need you to roll D100 again.
12 points.
Roll better.
God.
33.
33. That is another mishap.
Oh God.
So you feel as your bodies recondense.
This is
that
how we die.
15 points of damage this time. Go ahead and roll a D100 again.
Wait, how much?
All taken 27 points of damage.
What the actual crap, man?
62.
62. Okay, good deal. You do not get a mishap this time.
Great! Yes!
You feel yourself coalesce back together again. You would hold up, I have to mask this. You feel yourself regenerate. You feel your bodies coalesce. You look around you, and you do not actually recognize the place where you have emerged from the teleportation. Oh gosh, why do I have to mask this? So y'all have arrived off target.
I am surprised.
This is my surprise face. Last time we let Howard give directions.
Right.
I'm a ranger. I don't know where I'm going.
Just saying, I would have loved those rolls as a damage roll.
Oh my gosh.
We'd be done.
Percent math. Calculators.
Did anyone
What are you
else
calculating
get
and I will
her,
help you?
like, the word calculators?
I've got it. I just had to pull up the calculator here. Randomly roll a D8.
Lauren, I just want to point
There is
out that
no
when you said
randomly rolling a
calculators,
D8. You have a reason for that.
This is the top.
No, I read it. The DM randomly by rolling a D8. One is north, two. Okay.
We're gonna end up in the ocean, guys.
she's gonna drop us in a lake or something.
No. In fact, you traveled 42 miles northeast.
Well,
You almost in the middle of the
we're almost in the middle of.
overpowering, low in the sky, but the heat is already close to unbearable. You are surrounded by sand. The ground itself is cracking and forming forming almost little crevices and ravines beneath your feet. Everything around you, as far as the eye can see, is low hills, this golden, reddish brown dirt and sand and sunshine bearing down on you.
Oh, great. That's
So,
what.
this was great. Rissa, how are you doing?
You look over at Rissa, and she's sort of looking around her. You're like, this is not where we intended to end up.
So,
You're correct, dear.
being
What
that
happened?
The teleportation has gone awry.
no,
Is what
our eyes
happened.
aren't here to
The
The
Well-
beholder probably has anti-magic shite keeping us from getting there, isn't he?
yeah.
Doesn't.
not that I notice. It's a difficulty with this particular spell. You understand? It's quite challenging to cast. It's draining, and I'm afraid without the Sanctum to stabilize the teleportation itself, I was not able to provide a buffer and a guarantee of security for us. And well,
Can I see the mountain range from where I'm at?
make a perception check.
I'm gonna say 29.
Off in the very far distance, low, almost just a gray smudge on the horizon, you see what you might think is the Holding Highlands.
Well, we will happen to be close to those super dope pieces of equipment that are buried somewhere up here. Great. Well, so you wouldn't have to be able to do that again, would you?
I
Not
mean,
today,
that
I'm
hurt.
afraid. It's such a high level spell. I'm afraid it's beyond my capabilities to cast more than once in a day.
I understand.
Perhaps we should sleep in the hut.
I think we should start moving. Or sleep during the day and move during the night.
Okay, Sator,
Which
Uh-huh.
desert did you say this was?
Scorching desert.
the scorched lands. How far, Lord, looking at the distance, how far do we think it's going to take for us to walk to the lair from where we're at now?
You'd guess probably 2 days, 2.5 days.
Do I see any temples around?
Do you see any what?
Tombs or temples?
Make a perception check.
Here.
Oh, well, I'm not good at that. No, I don't see anything.
What do you get?
I got a 3, so I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything.
Actually, you're looking around into the desert, and there's a shimmery form, something you think it might be columns. You might be some sort of temple structure in ruins, made of the same sort of reddish golden earthy material. A little distance away, you can just make out a smudge of it.
Oi, how about you got better eyes than me? What can you make out what that is? Because it looks like a building or something.
I'd like to take a look as well.
With passive
do your-
perception of 21, does it look like a building?
With passive perception of 21, you sort of glance over to where he's pointing. You're not seeing anything in particular.
Yeah.
Val, you can go ahead and make a perception check if you want to try and spot it.
29.
9?
29.
29. Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. You're looking and you're following where Dorn is pointing, and there's some shape on the horizon. It's not a temple. Certainly not a temple, no. But there's something maybe there.
So,
Here's a thought, Casator. Can you
Want to get those
take
weapons?
us? This seems a little off course, but instead of walking for a bunch of days, I don't know. Could you take us to Grimhold, and then we can try again tomorrow?
or we
I
could do
could, so that
Tom's
we
back
don't have to
here.
spend the night in the desert.
Well, I was thinking if we have to spend the night, we could spend the night in Grimhold, or spend the night in a little hut. We could walk for a day, spend the night in a little hut, try again. Or we could just hang out in Grimhold for a day and try from Grimhold. Oh no, would trying from here make it easier for you, or trying from Grimhold?
The origination point, I'm afraid, doesn't make much of a distance. We
Hmm.
could spend the night here, and I could try again in the morning, or if your friend Kazator has a way to get us somewhere else, certainly.
I think I would.
That's not what Rissa sounds like.
Certainly.
Certainly.
No.
Yeah.
Certainly, we could do that. We could give it a shot.
I think I would prefer to save the scroll for an emergency, since we are okay here. It's an inconvenience, but
Do you know how to teleport without the scroll? Did you gain that knowledge? Well then, sure. I guess we'll walk for a day, try to get closer, and then camp for the night.
since we have the extra day,
Wanted.
well, no. Okay. Do we want to?
Let's start walking towards the mountain range.
Yep.
Get closer to it, and maybe that will help in the morning, actually getting a better teleportation. And I'm going to
Too bad we don't have that spyglass.
pop up my hood.
Lauren, that shape that I spotted earlier, can I tell about what the distance was?
Gonna be annoyed.
You'd guess a couple of miles. Probably 2 miles.
In the direction or away from where we're at?
Sort of. Okay, y'all want to be heading southwest, essentially, to start
Mhm.
heading towards west or southwest. The shape that you saw was northwest.
And we want to go southwest.
Mhm.
Kissator, how
I
would
want
Jojo feel about taking a little trip?
How do I feel?
Jojo.
How would Jojo feel?
Oh, we could do that.
No, point the direction about a mile or two that way. I caught sight of something. I'd like to make sure it's not possibly hostile. Do you think Jojo could make his way over there?
He could. Are we wanting to be walking while that is happening?
Yes.
Could you ride on Nightbane?
I was about to say I could look through his eyes, and if Nightbane could carry me, so I could see what he sees.
If that's the location of that temple I read about, then shoot, I'll carry you if we find that information. Oh, those weapons.
All right, let's do that.
Is Nightbane okay with carrying him, or?
Yeah, but I think it might be best if I go with him just to be safe.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's
He's not
staying with
leaving.
us. Jojo's leaving.
Oh, he's got to ride on
Yeah,
Nightbane.
because-
Okay, got you. I thought he was like needing to go farther to have an ability to come back.
Casator's
Yeah,
going comatose.
yeah, that's all good. 100%, no problem. He has no problem like choking you out with his holding you secure with his tentacles.
We love you, Case.
Well,
You to be.
goodbye, Casator. We'll see you in a minute.
I'm gonna bring out Nightbane.
Worst case scenario, he's got kings.
I know.
Okay.
It's not-
You bring out Nightbane, and he starts walking a little gingerly as y'all start moving in this direction. You put your hand to the ground and you can feel where it's hot already, and it's just going to get hotter. Quesator, as you send Jojo flying overhead, go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception. Okie dokie then. Here we go.
Do you want to inspire yourself?
I can't. I mean, I can't inspire myself. I don't know if I can inspire JoJo or not. But either way, it's 21.
21. Okay. So as JoJo's flying up overhead, and how far out are you going?
How far did you say it was away? It looked roughly a couple miles.
Yeah. It was not right at the edge of what you could see, but not terribly far away from it.
I'm gonna say, to be useful, I'm gonna tell him to just keep going until the image becomes clearer.
Yeah, can't he fly?
No.
Jojo?
Yeah, wouldn't height help with that?
But he can't communicate with him at that distance.
Yeah, once he leaves 100 feet, I can't talk to him anymore. So I'm just telling him before he leaves, go until you can see it more clearly and then come back. And his intelligence is the same as mine.
Okay.
That's part of his ability, is it matches mine.
Sure.
So you send Jojo off, and it takes him a little while to get to the point, and part of that is because what he was looking for is not stationary; it's moving, and what he sees is it would make more sense if this was the ocean, because it's very similar to how a wave moves and crests over the water. But this is a wave of earth. This is a wave of rock, and it is moving very quickly, almost directly east. Jojo watches it for just a minute. He's like, okay, I found it. And then you had told him to come back. So he turns around and he comes back, and then he conveys what he has seen to you. And actually, what was the perception?
21.
21. From where he is at, up high, where he'd gotten high enough in the air to see this form moving on the ground, he does see some sort of building off in the distance to the east. Something made of the same material, the same earth, the same rock, and it looks to be not just built above the ground, but dug out of the ground also. So it's a larger structure.
Mark that on a map.
We're never gonna come here again. We're never gonna come here again. This is like our one chance. We're never gonna come here again.
I want those items.
I want those items so bad.
You
Let's
know,
go,
if
the
somebody
hope is
learned how to
overhauled.
teleport.
Oh,
Guys, we gotta go. This is like our one chance.
And
All right,
it's
Laura,
Legendary equipment.
a sword and a suit of armor.
maybe.
maybe, assuming we
It
survive.
might be. There might be.
I think we should go because it's only going to help us with the beholder fight anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Like, yo, we brought you this sweet swag, bro. Give us a book.
So,
This accidental was a turn of fate.
Christopher, what you're saying is
Side
that we saw in a distance something moving, but also the possible temple where the companions of an old arbiter,
This is why we don't get anything done.
So I'm just curious, real fast, like
This is why we get all the good
an old
stuff.
arbiter, but how are you feeling about the entire arbiter thing right now? Like, is this gonna make it better? Is this gonna be worse?
Equipment is useful.
Equipment is useful
And I
as
may-
long as you don't go
By
AWOL, mate.
going to this place, I may gain insight from my ancestors.
Do I catch dragon's greed coming out of his veins?
Well, the
favorite
dwarf
NPC.
There might be insights that I can gain into the history of the world that would help me better in
Can
the decisions I must make in the future.
Can I glean some insight based off his voice and his body language and the greed and the dragon snarl?
That's not a bad point, though. I think a valid point if you look at it.
I do too. And
These items are legend, and
exactly. And not all legends are true.
I know that, but you know, if it is true,
don't you live a little, Howard? Come on,
legend lore and find out if there's more.
Oh man, can you do a thing?
So what we're saying is, in this vast expanse of desert, just let me get this straight. We see something burrowing under the ground to something that's coming out of the ground. Therefore, of course, it has to be the thing that has the maybe true, possibly legendary equipment from legendary people, and we're not even sure if it's actually real.
Whose legendary skills for the stuff of legends.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And we don't know.
It also has.
For all we know, we could show up and open up this cool little scroll, and all you see is your own magical reflection on the other side of it.
Learn something along the way.
And you're just like, oh, my feet are hot, and I learned
I would learn
Solix's idea sucks.
just the desert. There's
Doran is the
So much
smartest
chaos
among us.
happening right now.
Doran is the smartest among all of us.
All
We
right,
all know this.
let's
And
just-
Doran wants to do it as well.
Let's just talk about two people who have a little bit of item lust right now.
This
Okay,
also has
hold on.
the same chance of being an effing Sarlacc in the sand.
100%. I don't know if we're going to see like some sort of green light stick flashing around and something getting eaten with metal
But there's
plates.
a possibility.
Lauren, this is partially your fault. Thank
No,
you.
this is 100%
You're
her fault.
welcome.
But here's the thing.
This is the dice.
Today,
100% the dice.
today,
Also, based on her reaction, she's like, "Oh, it dumped you in the desert. Oh, snap!" Like,
But no. Okay.
Okay, so
I will
quick ask
take a
Tiny Hut,
picture.
can we argue in the
good
shade?
Good question. Lauren, how far
This
away
is
is this? It's like a mile or two from us, right?
You saw the thing moving a couple miles away. The shape, the construct it is moving to is probably another, we'll say 20 or 30 miles away. It would take a full day of traveling to get to it.
We're not taking a full day.
But it's
here's the thing. We have to walk in the desert all day today anyways. Why not go check out a temple instead of
my
walk
God.
towards mountains?
I cannot believe I'm
Exactly.
actually agreeing with Val on something.
Yeah, you make sense. We have to walk anyways. We can walk there, check it out, and then Rissa can teleport us from there.
Okay, hold on.
Exactly.
That's a fair point.
Rissa,
Hold on. I have one thing to ask though. It's my turn to play Asmodeus Advocate. There's a giant burrowy thing between it and us.
Sure.
How do you plan on us dealing with that?
Well, we get a little bit closer and try to figure out exactly what it is, and then we formulate a plan from there.
I feel like
What the hell? All right, let's do it.
Let's go. We're going. Oh, I want to go. We're going. Totally going. Felix is also freaking out. He's real excited. We're totally going. We start walking in that direction.
Celiax and me, we're just arm in arm
We're
skipping our way.
going.
Hell
I'd
yeah.
love to see
Go
you.
get us some
I'm
awesome
gonna keep Rissa back
flag.
with me while the rest of the crew goes gallivanting into the sand dunes. I'm gonna bring Nightbane out from underneath Casey while he's riding him and put him back in the locket, so he just like straight on the ground.
I already got off when Jojo came back.
What?
I got off when Jojo came back.
I'm gonna look at Rissa and say, I know I might be real bad at directions. I don't know, but can you see the mountains in the distance?
You see her look and squint and sort of shade her eyes from the sun. She's like, yes, I can see. I think it's that gray smudge on the horizon. Is that right?
Yes, it is. And can I guesstimate, just if that's the tip of the mountain range, how many miles further down it's going to be to close to Boulder's Peak?
You're guessing it's probably going to be. Make an intelligence check.
Oh,
We'll
God.
see how close to accurate you get.
Nat one.
Just somewhere between 30 and 60 miles.
All right. If worse comes to worse, Rissa, getting us closer to that mountain peak, if we can't get right on our spot, if you just need a point of reference, I don't know if that will help at all.
Now that I've seen the actual mountain, it'll help a little bit in getting us there.
How are you feeling right now?
Hot, mostly. This is going to be quite a trek.
I can get you out of the heat and provide you a safe place to stay so you can rest up.
Thank you, but no, for now at least, I do believe I will walk.
Well, if you grow tired, just let me know. And I'll pull out. Does she have a cloak?
She does.
Good deal. Pull
All
out
right.
my bow and just line up Sullyx's head. Just,
I like how you're mad at him, but this is like, this is my fault.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm the one that remembered that.
this is
You're the smaller target, and he's the bigger target. I figure if I hit him just right, I can ricochet down and hit you too.
Yeah.
also Kazator's also excited about this.
I know, but I'd feel bad shooting him. He'd die.
I think I have the same HP as Soya.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
Armor
if we're
class
going to
isn't
be
fine.
walking through the desert aimlessly, well, not aimlessly, but if we're just going to be walking for a day, I mean, we might as well at least eyeball it and see if we can find that temple.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this
Let's
is a
go.
chance.
Oh,
So we're
If there
walking
may
for a
be-
day.
If I can find a longsword of awesomeness, I will be so happy.
it's
You
a
find a
sword,
+1
halberd,
longsword.
and a suit of armor. So those are the three goodies that we're
There's a
looking
what?
to get.
What's in there? I don't
Watch
remember.
this be Lauren's attempt to
on,
mirror.
What was it?
It's a sword, a halberd, and a suit of armor. And
I'm with you already.
See?
Yeah. I mean, she's the one
Longsword of awesomeness.
So here's the deal. What you're going to find out when we
put 'em
show up,
together.
we're going to go through all this stuff. You're going to have this magical little flower petal that knocks the armor suit and the halberd and the sword down. You're going to pick it up and you're going to spend time with it overnight. And you're going to be like, oh, no, feel no different. It's like, no. And you're going to look at it and inside it's going to be like, it's the warrior who holds it that makes the difference. And along the way, Val's going to die just like Cortana did. And you're going to have to live with that the rest of your life, looking at this sword that you're probably just going to throw on the ground and walk out mad.
No, I'll put it.
Frankly, I figured that last point would be
I'd be the one that dies.
Family tradition, mate.
So, I'm just saying, armor is super cool. Everyone likes some armor.
Saying right now, nothing's really cool, so let's just get there.
I like
Right,
swords.
so speeding along.
If anything else,
feel
I mean,
fine. I don't
like,
know what people like. You
don't
guys
use
complain
it
about the
as
heat. I feel fine.
something to bribe the beholder with, get him to like listen to us and say like, this is ancient shit that the old arbiter used to have. Like, how cool is that? No one else could touch this stuff, but it could be yours.
Bahamut comes.
Okay.
Off.
So as y'all are walking through the desert, the heat is increasing. The sand and dirt beneath your feet is growing hot. Go ahead and have everyone make me a Constitution saving throw.
Lauren, because of my natural resistance to fire, do I get any sort of bonus?
You're fine.
Aha,
You're fine.
How close within range of
bonus.
Sully?
And anyone within 10 feet of Celiax gets +4.
Well, Halbert
Is that
said he held up
right?
behind me, so
I walked to catch up with Arissa to get to y'all.
sure. Then I probably everyone's within at least 10 feet of me. I would say maybe.
I don't have to be. It's fine.
So without Celiax's help, I have 26.
Okay. You're fine.
24.
Success.
I think I'm next to him, so whatever.
Val, what was that?
24. Resilient.
24. Halberd?
17.
Kazator?
I paid. There we go. 12.
Are you close to me?
Celiax is fine.
That's with you.
Oh, that's with me.
Okay. That's okay. It's still, this is for the morning hours before noon. As y'all are walking, you feel the heat, you feel the sun beating down on you, you feel the sweat dripping, running down your back, down your face. It stings when it gets into your eyes. But you're able to sustain yourselves, and the toil of the journey is not damaging on you. You're getting closer to noon at this point. You've been walking for several hours. The weight of the heat is very strong, but you're starting, you think, Halberd and Kazator and Val, to see something in the distant horizon, some tall edifice that you're moving towards. And it's hard to make out because it is the same color, the same material as what's around you, but you think you've got a guideline to move towards. So as you're moving, yes.
As we hit the afternoon, like, how blazing hot does this get, and how does this look like it's affecting Rissa?
Rissa is handling the heat okay. She is trudging along, maintaining pace for the most part with y'all, but is obviously, like, her face is turning red, just like most of the rest of y'all's are. If y'all didn't have your cloaks or your garments, any part of your skin that is exposed to the sun is starting to pinken, and a little bit. Siliex is just glorying in the heat.
I'm so happy.
Just took off all his armor. He's just walking around.
I was planning on fighting the beholder, but this makes me even happier.
Siliex loves the sunshine. Very nice.
So it's like heading for awesome year. I'm so excited.
You act like this isn't going to be a dungeon crawl in and of itself.
So the sun is starting to get into the hottest part of the day as y'all are walking. Go ahead and make me one more Constitution saving throw.
Sorry about that.
I'll say Rissa and Kasator are close to me.
Natural 20!
Rissa and Kasator? Okay.
No one else?
I don't know who else would be it, so I don't know if maybe like
I'm fine.
Halberd could be close to me too because he was next to Rissa. But noticing Kasator and Rissa like are having a little bit more of an issue, I would make sure they were close to me. I know Halberd was hanging out next to Rissa, so I guess he would be within 10 feet of me as well.
Okay. So Doran got natural 20, right?
Yeah.
19 for
And-
me.
We're rolling.
19. Halberd?
Modified 20.
Nice. Kazator?
Nat 1 for an 8.
8.
He bursts into flame.
I have created.
Kazator, you had been trudging along and you
Really
hadn't
did.
noticed exactly, but the hood of your cloak had fallen back. You were feeling the wind, and for a while the wind, the breeze, even though it was hot, it was evaporating the sweat off your face, and it felt refreshing almost. And you realize as you go, the sun is still beating down on you, and before you know it, your face and your neck are just lobster red. You are sunburned badly. Go ahead and take 4 points of fire damage.
Ow.
Maybe, well, never. I don't know.
But you get
This is your fault, Albert. They're terrible rules.
you get to the edifice that you had seen, and as you're starting to approach, it is significantly larger than you had thought it was, and it takes most of the day to get there. The sun is starting to descend as you are on approach, and you see, first and foremost in front of you is a giant statue, probably 20 feet tall, this humanoid figure carved out of this light yellow, goldish sort of rock. This humanoid figure has some draconic features with the dragonborn facial features dressed in fine armor, detailed. You can see the
Glorious. It's glorious.
It is glorious. It is delightfully carved, and the detail and workmanship that has gone into it as it stands, shoulders erect, sword out, shield in the other hand in a protective stance. And Siljax, it's odd. You recognize that shield. In fact,
Okay.
everybody who has seen you recognizes the shield that the statue is carrying. This is the same shield that you carry.
Do I recognize anything else? The armor, his weapon, like any facial equipment, like in his face at all? Do I have any idea who this is?
Make a history check.
The statue shield rusted.
No, the statue shield is in perfect, glorious repair.
That's a 5.
That is a 5. You know, there's something about it that's vaguely familiar. It's tickling your imagination, but you can't quite place it at the moment. But that shield, you'd see so clearly.
Yep.
You can guess at this point is probably some significant arbiter from ages past who have carried the shield before you.
Yep.
I don't know if it makes sense, but can I history check? Since I did read that book and was like all excited about.
Yeah, go for it.
You have to go
We'll
look
let that
at
happen.
them
Make a
first.
history check.
Yay, I'm rolling great today. So that's a modified 20. Yeah.
Yes. We'll go ahead and we'll say that you do recognize the description of the armor, the putting everything together with the dragonborn figurine and this sort of presentation. You're pretty confident this is in fact the hero Zelisar from ages past, the one you have read about, the one whose tomb and whose companions are supposed to be entombed with him in the heart of the Scorchland Desert. You think this is where it's at.
By the way,
Lord,
y'all are welcome.
Lord,
Because if it wasn't for me,
upon hearing this name, which one is he?
Zelisar was Bahamut's arbiter during the Shattering and during the Great War that shortly followed it.
Okay, he was during the Shattering, not necessarily the Purge.
Not during the Purge, no. Significantly before the Purge, about 300 years before the Purge, in
the
fact.
Shattering. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember the Shattering. Okay.
It's #1 golden boy.
Siljax, you remember that Zelisar and his companions were in fact involved in the actual battle against Tiamat, the one that shattered the land and ultimately imprisoned her in Avernus. You see,
For the record, it would be like as if we were to fight Tiamat, and then we would all be entombed in the same place. Like that's who these people were, like you people to me. So I mean, this is
so
it's
basically,
history exploring history is what's happened here.
From what I read in the book, he also had a friend who was an elven archer, and he had a fighter who were his little teammates.
It's history in history.
oh joy.
You'll think later.
Yeah.
Let's go inside.
so you see Siljax behind the statue itself. You see where the ground drops off down into a slope that leads to some sort of underground area, and around it in a sort of U shape is an above ground structure held with a basically an awning, essentially, of stonework held up by columns surrounding a large building. And on the outside of this building, as you're approaching, you're seeing murals. Sun-bleached, worn by the wind, eroded away a little bit, but carved into the stone structure of this temple itself are motifs, are these decorations of significant events in history. And as you look closer, you see there are a number of figures that feature prominently in these scenes. You see the great hero Zelisar, who is this dragonborn arbiter who carries this shield and this sword so prominently. You see an elven archer who typically is above and behind guarding. You see this, let me make sure I've got my notes right here for this. This tiefling fighter who accompanied the two of them. You see two other figures, shorter. It's hard to make out whether they were halfling in nature or perhaps gnomish, who seem to fight with one with a large club or cudgel of some kind, and the other with a set of knives. You see various scenes where they are, one where they are pictured, the five of them with a vast horde of various infernal creatures in front of them. They seem to be holding a narrow pass and standing their ground against these great forces. You see one where there is a castle in the distance, and you see a series of scenes that seem to depict them as they overcome the castle through some means of subterfuge or sneaking. You see another set of scenes that describe a coming together to looks like actually create a set of weapons of some kind. And then you see finally the great battle where they are pictured leading a massive army, standing with Bahamut on one side and the forces of Tiamat and the great mother dragon herself, pictured in great heroic combat. And shortly thereafter, you see the fall and the burial and entombment of these figures.
You said it was a tiefling fighter, yes?
Yes, a tiefling fighter.
Good to know. Okay. This is actually good. This is actually very good.
I love how you're still trying to convince John that.
No, this is.
I think it's good for Soryak's internal process to see a tiefling fighter by Bahamut.
This is very good. It's good for many reasons.
And then the tiefling is the one who killed the arbiter.
Even that would be good. All right,
So
we can. So we're continuing into this, whatever this is.
So approaching it, I'm going to go into my full look around and make sure there aren't slits in the walls and axes and things ready to shoot out and tripwires and everything else like that that says, you're not supposed to be here. And I'll say, yeah, we're probably not. But make sure that my people don't die as best as I can.
All right. You prepare to descend the steps, this ramp area that leads to the sort of the basement level, or are y'all going and staying in the building that is at ground level?
Actually entered the building, or was that on the outside?
That was on the outside of the building.
Okay.
So you could stand just behind the statue and sort of scan around, and you could see all these murals.
I'd like to just send Jojo up before we go in to see if he can see the worm from Tremor.
Okay, send him up. Make a perception check for Jojo.
I call him a Molduga.
Huh?
Molduga from Breath of the Wild.
Oh, jeez.
Modified 20.
Modified 20. You send Jojo up, and you don't see anything currently moving around. The desert around seems quiet, although very, very hot.
Let's get out of the sun if we can.
Right. Yeah, let's go into the temple and see what we can see from in there. Get us out of the sun.
Yeah.
Get us under worked stone, away from whatever's crawling through the sand, and see what we can see from in there.
All right. As you'll go ahead, you step out of the sun into the shade of the temple. That is where we're going to go ahead and stop for today.
Oh! I never thought we were going to come here. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. We're never going to come here.
so happy right now.
That 2 I rolled on the D8. Guys, like that I could not have done that on purpose. Like there is no way.
I never
Everything that
thought,
went wrong with the teleportation, like,
I was
oh
like,
my gosh.
there's no way we're gonna go like work our way up there. Just check this out. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Like,
I'm
there was no way to find an excuse. Like, bro, let's go to the desert and find treasure. And there's like no way or reason.
yeah. There's no way to do that. But this is
This is our only chance.
I thought we were going to do it, but there was no
Oh,
way.
why not?
with oh, Soix is so he has so much he needs to learn. Oh,
Lauren, you said that this temple
Yes.
was basically a full day's walk away. So are we in evening now?
Yes.
oh man.
Okay.
The sun has started to descend. It is like the heat is still oppressive,
Right.
but it's less directly on you. Getting into the shade is still a significant relief.
Right. And we could take a short rest, or I'm sorry, take a long rest now if we wanted to. Like we've had a full day's.
Yeah,
this
you've
is
had a
like your-
whole day's of travel. If you wanted
'Cause I'm, like,
to find a
almost at half
space to rest.
Yeah.
You're almost at half health, Jordan.
Between the 2 mishaps and the sunburn, I'm almost at I'm 2 points away from half health.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for you. If only you had my hit points.
I do have your hit points.
What's your hit points?
74.
Yeah, no.
No.
No, you don't have any hit points.
At level 9, I became amazing. For the record, I gained 21 hit points when we leveled up.
He's
Wow.
he's almost as high as I am.
Your 90s?
Recognize greatness.
I still want to have a battle royale.
I will slaughter you.
Go
It
ahead.
will be wonderful.
How kill you all.
Especially once I get this super dope sword.
Watch
It's a sword of awesomeness. It's totally a sword of awesomeness, and I can't wait.
you think he gets the halberd and actually like shoots lightning bolts or something.
He can
I know, like if his buddies also are entombed here, their swag is here too.
Dude, we don't know what type of armor this is. Like, this could be super dope, like studded leather armor or something. Like,
Yeah, we have no idea.
Hopefully some cool arrows.
because an elven archer is buried here. Probably something dope is buried here.
We'll see.
So this is.
Case we're on
Worst
best
case
give you a
scenario,
cross.
Hey, you know that nice bow you just paid for? Yeah. Here's a
We
plus
don't-
3
We
longbow.
don't know about that.
Here's a plus 3 longbow.
We
All
don't
right.
know yet. That's a lot of assumption.
plus 12 longbow.
Lauren's like, so I'm changing everything that I was planning on.
I'm serious. The poetic irony. Every weapon is just a normal weapon, and it's all about the warrior being the one who wields the weapon.
Even if it is, this journey has been worth it because Sorex has learned so much from
Like Wes is gonna be unpacking this all week.
like this is he needed this before he went to Dragonstone. This is giving him something to ground himself before he goes and deals with whatever he has.
There's enough stuff around here for me to study. Yeah.
Doran's sitting there licking every stone,
This
every
is-
rock.
This is
Doran.
Soex's library.
You say licking or looking at?
No,
Licking.
guys, pause for just a second.
Hello.
Before we go ahead and finish off this real quick, Doran, make a
I'm gonna die.
no, you're fine. What role do you use for your stone sense? For the dwarven ability to look at work stone and know about it. What is that?
Hold on, let me look it up. I think it relates to history, but I don't remember. Stone cunning,
That might be it.
intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework. You are considered
Yes.
proficient in history, and
Do
add
that.
add double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of your normal proficiency.
Wow.
Hey,
Roll that for me real quick.
That's rad. So hold on. So
Yeah, that's a
I'm
plus
rolling
12.
history and adding double proficient. Wow.
That's plus
Ah.
12.
16 plus 12.
God. Doran is
28. All right,
So what do
Doran.
I see the quickening. The history of Celiax unfolds.
Well, of this particular temple at least, one of the things that you notice is there are elements of dwarven workmanship in the stone, but even more than that, there's something expansive, something finessed on a larger scale than what you have seen dwarves typically accomplish. You're pretty positive that this temple is actually giant built.
Oh!
That's interesting.
Okay, so
Why-
that is where we will go ahead and stop for the day. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for coming along with us on this
giants
adventure.
aren't all bad.
Tune in to see us with whatever shenanigans we're going to have next week.
Remember the beholder?
Thank you guys. Bye.
What?
Oh,
This is
amazing.
amazing!